everybody, I'm Jake Picente, JP Films, and today I'm going to talk to you about how you can blow out the background with any lens that you have. I'm going to do that by explaining it with a wide-angle lens and a telephoto lens, this 18 to 55 kit lens, and this 100 to 400, 45 to 56 L lens. Now you're going to need to know three things: your distance between you and your subject that you're photographing. You're going to need to know your f-stop, and you're going to need to know your focal length. Those are the three most important things on how to blow out the background. I don't know if you can see it, but that red thing on a stick behind me is going to be my subject, and the fence is going to be my background, so you can see how that will be blown out in the different situations. Now, the one thing you have to keep in mind, man, these bugs. Anyway, the thing you're going to have to keep in mind is that the closer you are to your subject, the better chance you're going to have to blow out your background. I'm going to explain that by doing a bunch of different pictures with that thing over there on my computer screen. I'm going to explain that, but I'm just going to go briefly through it right now. So if I'm using, if I'm using the 18 to 55 kit lens and I'm standing pretty far back and I'm all the way zoomed out at 18, everything is going to basically be in focus, which isn't going to be good in blowing out my background. But if I move closer to my subject and I zoomed in a little bit more, then I'm going to really be able to blow out the background. And the same thing goes for a telephoto lens. You're just going to be able to blow the background out more with a telephoto lens. If I was zoomed in at all the way at 400 and I was standing 4 feet in front of it, you're going to see a big difference between that and if I zoomed in all the way at 55, standing a couple feet in front of my subject with the wide angle lens. So I'm just going to explain that right now as I take a few pictures of this thing behind me, and we're going to explain it all back on the computer. Alright guys, I'm about 10 feet away from my subject right now. I'm zoomed all the way out at 18. Now remember the three things that I said: your f-stop, the distance between you and the subject, and your focal length. So I'm zoomed all the way out at 18. I'm going to shoot everything at 5.6 for right now, and I'm about 10 feet away from my subject, so I'm going to take this picture. Okay, boom, exposure is pretty good. Now what you're going to notice I'm going to put the picture on the screen right now. You're going to notice that everything is in focus basically. My subject's in focus, the ground, the fence, the trees, and everything behind it, the houses, the shed, all that stuff are in focus because I'm zoomed all the way out at 18. I am pretty far away from my subject, and I'm shooting at 5.6, which is around the middle of an f-stop. So now what I'm going to do here, I'm going to zoom in all the way to 55, same distance and same f-stop, take a picture, boom, I just took the picture right there. Right now you're going to notice that obviously I've zoomed in a little bit, so there's not as much stuff in the frame, but the fence is a little bit blown out. It's definitely not in focus like it was before. The trees are not in focus, and the houses behind it are not in focus. I mean, you can see them because we are a good 10 feet away with a wide-angle lens, but that's what happens when you use a wide-angle lens, and we're going to go over the difference with that with the telephoto lens, but it's definitely a lot better. So the number one tip for right here, if you're going to use a wide-angle lens, if you're this far away, zoom all the way in if you want to try to blow out the background as much as you can. Now we're going to switch, and we're going to go closer to our subject and see what we get there. Alright guys, now we moved up a couple feet. We're about 2 feet from our subject. I'm zoomed all the way out at 18 millimeters. Again, you're going to notice a lot of things are in focus, but it's going to be a lot better than standing all the way back there. So let's take this picture. Okay, you can still notice a lot of things are in focus, the trees, the fence, but it's definitely a lot better than standing back there. You can blow it out a little bit more right here, and now we're going to zoom all the way into 55 and see what we get. There we go, that's a lot better. You can see the fence is nice and smooth. You can still notice it, but it's definitely blown out more. And you can move up even closer to your subject to blow it out even more. So it is definitely possible to blow out the background with a kit lens or a wide angle lens. That goes for all wide angle lenses. You can do the same method that I'm doing here. Move up, zoom all the way in, put your f-stop as low as you can get it, and that is going to get you the best results to try to blow out the background. Now let's jump over to the telephoto lens. Alright guys, now we're going to switch over to the telephoto lens. It's the same concept, the same three basic rules I've been saying the whole time. Now it's just a little different with the telephoto lens because you're going to be able to blow out the background a lot more. So I'm going to take a picture all the way zoomed out at 100 here, and we're going to see what we got. So let me take this picture. Okay, now you can already see, based on the wide angle lens, from this far away. It's definitely obviously a lot closer because I'm using a 100mm, but it's definitely a lot more blown out in the background. The fence is definitely not in focus, and our subject is what we're focusing on. Now I'm going to zoom all the way in at 400, and we're going to see what we get. Okay, now you don't even notice the fence in the background at all. So a telephoto lens will definitely blow out the background better than a wide angle. But you can do it with the wide angle, as we've shown, when you move closer to your subject. Now we're going to do the same thing with the telephoto. I'm just going to move a little closer now, and we're going to see what the results get from the telephoto lens. Alright guys, we have moved up now, and we're going to see the results that we get when we move closer to our subject. Is probably going to be the same results as the wide angle, just more drastic. So let me take the first picture zoomed all the way out at 100mm. There you go. See, the telephoto lens makes a huge difference from the wide angle lens. The fence is blown out, you can barely even notice it. You're real close to our subject, so that really does help. To remember the three things we've been talking about the whole time: your f-stop, your focal length, and the distance between you and the subject makes a huge difference. So those three things are the most important things when you're trying to blow out the background. Now let's zoom all the way into 400 and see what we get. I don't even know what to say about that picture. It's basically just the top of the cone thing, and it almost looks like it's on like a gray background. You don't even notice that it's even a fence. You don't even notice that it's even outside. It looks like it's in a studio or something. It doesn't even look like there's anything even behind it. So that's what I had to show for you guys today. You could definitely blow out the background with a wide angle lens. You can obviously blow it out with a telephoto lens. It just matters about those three things we've been talking about: your f-stop, your focal length, and the distance between you and your subject. Those three things can really help you blow out the background. So thank you guys for watching this video. Give it a thumbs up if you think I had some good information in it, and subscribe to my channel to learn more about photography. And don't forget that these three things that we talked about also apply for video too. So if you're doing things for video and you want to blow out the background more, you can use the three same steps, and it works the same for video too. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you later.